gentlemen to Blue 9 Lives. Today's show will focus on historical biography. You may recall the last time we traveled back in time for our biography. We featured Thomas Edison and Sitting Bull. Please welcome our first guest host, Robert E. Lee, along with Marco Polo, Elizabeth, Benjamin Franklin, Davy Crockett, and Paul Revere.
Marco Polo, tell us about your background. When were you born?
I was born in 1254. We don't know the exact date, but I was born in 1254 in Venice, Italy. And then he died in 1324.
How many in your family?
Well, my mom died when I was a baby, and my dad and my uncle left to China when I was 4, and I lived with my Aunt Flora. And I only had one brother, but all my cousins lived with me, and I had about 8 of them.
My brother's name was Maffeo.
What was special about your family?
Our father was a rich peasant. My uncle was a famous traveler. Yeah. He was a famous traveler, and we had a really big family.
Thank you. How about you, Davy Crockett?
Please tell us about your background. When were you born?
I was born in 1868, and my uncles and my dad and my brothers liked to hunt, and I killed my first animal when I was 10. It was a squirrel.
How many in your family?
6.
What was special about your family?
Well, again, we all like to hunt.
Very interesting. Ben, would you tell us about your background?
I was born in Boston, Massachusetts on January 17th. I was the 10th son in a family of 17, and I was the 15th child.
How many in your family?
17.
What was special about your family?
We had a very large family, and yeah.
Thank you. Could you tell us about your background?
I was born in 1735.
How many in your family? What was special about your family?
My father was a famous silversmith, owned a famous silversmith shop.
What do you feel is most important that you have done in your life?
Saved Boston from the British soldiers.
What do you feel you should be remembered for?
Not giving up on my dreams.
Thank you. What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
Well, I went to China and served Kublai Khan. I was his ambassador, and I also had to learn a lot of languages because his people spoke different languages.
What do you feel you should be remembered for?
I told the U.S. about China. I brought Chinese food to the U.S. And that's it.
What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
I was one of the person that killed the most bear.
What do you feel you should be remembered for?
The same thing.
What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
I invented many things and proved that lightning was electricity.
What do you feel you should be remembered for?
Inventing swim fins.
Finally, what impressed you most about the world today? Finally, what impresses you most about the world today?
I had a large family.
Finally, what impresses you the most about the world today?
It's changed a lot since the 1800s.
Finally, what impresses you the most about the world today?
They have a lot of things that I didn't have when I was a kid, and it kind of makes me very angry and kind of very lonely.
Finally, what impresses you the most about the world today?
Pretty much the same thing Martha said. There's a lot of things that I didn't have when I was a kid.
Thank you.
We now have 6 more famous historical people to introduce to you. Please welcome our special guests, Zlata Filipovic and Miss Betsy Ross, Lila Ukulele and Helen Keller, and Davy Crockett. Oh, my goodness.
Betsy Ross, please tell us about your background.
I had 17 people in my family, and I graduated school at age 12.
Okay. Little baby.
I was adopted from Papa Pocky and my mama Keonia. And I became queen when I was 23.
Okay. Helen,
Please tell us
about your background.
I was born in 1880, and I went to a regular school for ladies, regular college in 1984. So we went to school.
Okay. Next, tell us something interesting that happened in your childhood.
Well, my sister Bernice, my stepsister Bernice. Well, she was princess, and she didn't want to take the honor of being queen after she got married because it'd be too much of a responsibility being queen and having a child with her. So she didn't take the role of being queen, which made me princess. And then about a few years later, she died, so I became queen.
Very interesting. Next, tell us something interesting that happened in your childhood.
When I was 7, I didn't know that there was a meaning of life. I didn't know that anything had a meaning. And my teacher, Annie Sullivan, came and she taught me like Braille and letters that I could read, and also she would sew into my hand. She had to take us away because, well, she had to take us away because we were like blind and not really that true because we were in the house and our mom let us do whatever we wanted but we would do something bad.
Betsy, next tell us something interesting that happened in your childhood.
Well, at age 12, I graduated from school and I was an apprentice in an upholstery shop.
Very good. What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life? What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
I think the most important thing I have done is the kid gave me a guitar for when he went to England or something. And I used to strum on it every night. And I found out that there was no Hawaiian anthem. They always sung God Bless Our King. So I decided to make up the Hawaiian anthem. Well, yeah. And I strummed it on my guitar. And I kept on working at it. And it took me about a month. And the king was so pleased that he had made it our national anthem.
How do you feel?
I feel really proud of it.
Okay, Helen, what do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
I think the most important thing I've done in my life is, well, I've been in a lot of movies and I've taught people like, I think the most important thing that happened in my life was when I left the vision of what life is all about.
Okay. What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
I think the most important thing is when I made the first American flag.
What do you feel you should be remembered for?
I think I should be remembered for making the Hawaiian national anthem and being the last queen of Hawaii.
Okay. Helen, what do you feel you should be remembered for?
Being the first educated, blind, deaf person. What she said.
What do you feel you should be remembered for?
For making the first American flag.
Okay. Finally, what impresses you about the world today?
That Hawaii is has added on to America.
Okay. What do you feel you should be remembered for?
I think I should ask you that actually. But
Finally, what impresses you about the world today?
that now they're giving out vitamin A to prevent blindness and scarlet fever. So nobody can get it. I think something that's really happened is there's not really as many blind people out there.
Okay. Finally, what impresses you about the world today?
I think that because they kept adding on to the flag that I made, and that is.
Do you feel that they should have done that?
Yes, because they kept adding on to the 13 columns.
Okay, thank you.
Next host Marco Polo will bring to the stage Robert E. Lee, Nora Ingalls Wilder, Amelia Earhart, and Clara Barton.
Sorry I'm late. I got lost over the Pacific Ocean.
So, Robert, when were you born? And how many in your family? Richmond, Virginia, January 19th, 1807.
And how many in your family?
I had 2 sisters and 2 brothers and me.
Do you know their names?
I don't know, well, 2 of my sisters are named Mildred and Anne, and my 2 brothers are named Smith and Jason.
Alright. Clara, how many in your family? And what was special about your family?
We had 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and we were the youngest in our family. All our brothers and sisters were teachers except for David.
Cool. When were you born?
We were born Christmas Day, 1821.
Good. Amelia, when were you born?
I was born on July 24th, 1897, at my Grandpa Otis's large white house on Quality Hill in Atchison, Kansas.
How many in your family?
There was my mom, my dad, my little sister, Muriel, and me.
Robert, can you tell us about your background? Oh yeah, Laura, how many were in your family?
I had a sister Mary that went blind from scarlet fever when she was 14 years old. I had a sister Carrie, another sister Grace, and I did have a brother Freddie, but he died when he was 9 months old. And I have a mom and a pa.
When were you born?
I was born on February 7th, 1867.
Robert, can you share your background? Marvelous. Now would you like to tell us something interesting that happened in your childhood, Robert?
Hobbies, school,
I went to school at West Point, the United States, West Point. I like to ride horses, and when I was older, we had to surrender the Civil War.
Were you a Yankee or the other people down south?
Yank.
Oh, that's too bad. How about you, Clara?
childhood hobbies,
I was very good at horseback riding, and I taught school for 11 years. And when I was like 11, my brother David got sick, and I moved. And I went to boarding school, and I was very shy, and one day people tried to trick me, and I fainted, and so I had to go home, and people said that it wasn't my school, that I shouldn't have gone there, and then I became less shy.
Not good. How about you, Amelia? Same thing.
Well, one spring, I coaxed my sister Mariel and a few friends to make a roller coaster. And I went riding up the planks in the roller coaster's car. And there were planks going up over our shed. And I went right up the planks and over the shed for my first crash landing. And for my 24th birthday, I got a Canary airplane.
How about you, Laura? Hobbies, school?
I moved like 20 times when I was a kid. I moved from the big little house in the big woods when I was 1.5. Then between the age of 3 and 7, I moved about 9 times. And when I wanted a doll when I was 3 really bad, and I finally got it when I was 7 for Christmas. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. Clara, how about school or illnesses or anything like that?
We went to boarding school for less than a year. And then I went back home and went to a school that my brother taught. And during the summer, I had to be teach all the time. But then my mom taught me how to cook, and I became stronger. And
Thank you. Oh, what do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
Becoming a lieutenant, and actually being a general of the Civil War that I had to surrender.
Sad once again. What do you feel? Oh, I don't. Finally, what impresses you most about the war? Oh, what do you feel you should be remembered for?
I think I should be remembered for creating the American Red Cross. And being a nurse at the war for a long time.
I just have to go back to a few people that I forgot. What do you feel is the most important thing you have done in your life?
I think the most important thing I've done in my life is survive a really long winter. It lasted for 7 months, and it began in October, and I think it ended in March, late March. And during that time, my husband, Alonzo Wilder, he risked his life in the blizzards to go find wheat because I almost starved to death. Yeah.
Scary. There's your book. All right. Amelia, what's your proudest thing? What's the most important thing you've done in your life?
Probably trying to make my trip around the world. But one bad thing about it is that I was lost when I was just started out.
Getting lost in an airplane with no food before. That's tough luck. What do you feel you should be remembered for, Robert?
Oh, yeah.
I already asked you. Sorry. Oh, yeah. No.
For saving the South, since we didn't have a lot of soldiers and we were low on supplies.
What good when you're in a war that you don't know how to learn? What do you feel you should be remembered for?
I think I should be remembered for writing so many kids books, and I wanted to write the hard winter instead of long winter, but the publishers objected because they said that children should be told nothing is hard, and I have a daughter, Rose, and I married Almanzo when he was 28, and I was 18, and I died in 1857, February 10th, 3 days after my 90th birthday.
Last year? No, I didn't.
I think that I should be remembered for trying to make that trip around the world.
Finally, what impresses you most about the world today?
There are many things different today than we had back then.
And that our grave is still at the school that we're the president of.
Sweet. What about you?
I think what impresses me the most is that we still have the American Red Cross and also the International Red Cross.
Like that Blue Cross Blue Shield thing. What's it called? Finally, what impresses you, Amelia?
Probably that since we didn't use airplanes for transportation when I started flying around the world, that we use airplanes for transportation today.
When I flew on the building. What about you?
I think the most different thing today is that teachers teach better when they were younger. Because now teachers have to be, I think, 18 or older. But when I was young, I was teaching at the age of 14 and 15. But then I quit because it was too long to drive home.
Cool. Alright, thank you. That's it.
Our final panel of celebrity guests includes Franklin D. Roosevelt, Crazy Horse, George Walker Bush, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Zelda Filipovich. Our host for this segment will be Clara Barton. Franklin, can you tell us about your background?
Well, I had three people in my family, and I was born on January 30th, 1882 in Hyde Park.
Okay, nice. Crazy Horse, please tell us about your background.
I had a brother, a sister, a mom, and a dad. I was born in 1849 in Black Hills.
Thank you. George? Alright, George, please tell us about your background.
I was born in New Haven, Connecticut on July 6, 1946, and I had 10 people in my family.
Okay, alright, a lot of you were next, but, okay, Eleanor, do you think you could tell us about your background? I had 4 people in my family, and I was born October 11th, 1894. Thank you. Lada, same question.
Okay, I was born on December 3rd, 1880 in Sarajevo, and I had a mother and a father, and I was an only child.
Oh, okay, okay, Franklin, next tell us something interesting that happened in your childhood.
Well, when I was 12, I went to college.
12? Wow. Oh, yes. Crazy Horse, tell us something interesting that happened in your town.
I never went to school, and I got taught to hunt and all that stuff by my parents, and I killed my first buffalo when I was 5.
Okay, George, same question.
Well, my sister died when I was at least 8.
Okay, Lana, something interesting happened in your town.
Okay, I think the most interesting things are that my diary got published, and I have it here. Called Zalata's Diary. And then the second thing is the Warren said, hey, look that I had to survive. And I made it through it.
Oh, okay, okay, Ellen?
When I was 2, we took a trip to Europe and I went on a big ship. And there was a storm and there was a lifeboat and I was still on the ship and I got lost on the ship and the sailor dropped me over the edge and my dad got me.
In the water?
In the lifeboat.
Oh, okay. What do you feel you should be remembered for?
I think I should be remembered for being re-elected for the first term.
Okay. What do you think you should be remembered for?
Being named Indian War Chief when I was 17 and being called Crazy Horse when I was 17.
Okay, thanks, George. George, what do you think you should be remembered for?
Well, I am the president now, and I think I should be remembered for that.
Lana, what do you feel you should be remembered for?
I think I should be remembered for surviving the war.
Mr. Pickle?
Yeah, it lasted for about 2 years.
Okay. Eleanor, what do you think what do you think you should be remembered for?
Fighting for social justice.
Oh, wow. All right. Back to you, Franklin. Finally, what impresses you most about the world today?
Well, we didn't have electricity in 1882, and we don't have a lot of stuff that we have now.
Okay. Crazy Horse. What impresses you about the world today?
We don't wear moccasins. We don't live in teepees and sit Indian style all day. Come in and we use guns instead of bow guns.
George. Oh, well, all right, George.
The thing that impresses me today is that there's less people in the world than there was a lot.
Before. Alright. Flata? Okay. What impresses you about the world today?
The thing that impresses me most is that when there were wars, that now they have more equipment and more people survive.
Oh, wow. Okay, Eleanor, last but not least, what impresses you most about the world today?
All the inventions that they have now, not run around when I was a child.
Okay, thank you. Now we have one more guest who is going to present Princess Okay, I am going to decide who's going to become Princess of Florida. We hope you enjoyed our show featuring historical biographies. Could all the cast please come up on stage? Please take a bow. On behalf of everyone here at Moonlight Live, thank you for joining us.